During a recent perch fishing session in Riverside Park, Wroxham, I got talking to a chap who let on about a big perch hotspot where jigging produced the best results. My jigging success has been non-existent this season, which is something I really wanted to rectify. Freelining worms has been good, and I have enjoyed some brilliant sport, but I have digressed from what I set out to do at the start of the season. This season, I wanted to fish solely using lures. When I am on my motorhome adventures, it is not always possible to get bait, and lures are the only viable option, hence why I was going to focus on lure fishing. The hotspot sounded the ideal location for me to finally catch some perch using plastic lures on jig heads. I had seen a video featuring a specialist angler saying a long hang time was the way forward, so I used a lightweight jig head. In my experience, the lightweight jig heads, such as the Fox Rage micro jig heads, are made using really thin hooks that straighten out on the lightest snag, so I decided to use a 2.5 gram flex head combined with a strong circle hook. There is loads of water to cover in this spot, but using a 2.5 gram jig head from the bank, I'll barely scratch the surface. There isn't loads of accessible bank to fish here, so I'm pretty much confined to this spot. To maximise my chance of catching a perch, or hopefully more, I am going to fan cast from right to left and then left to right again. A few weeks back I invested in some Fox Rage Spikey Shads and bought a 6cm or 3.5 inches in old money, lemon tiger, fire tiger, hot olive, silver bleak, redhead, salt and pepper, and it was time to test them out. The first lure I'm going to try is the Fox Rage Salt and Pepper Spiky Shad. Even though I'm using a lightweight 2.5 gram jig head, I can still cast it out quite far and further than I expected to. I just hope I can get the lure to where the perch are waiting to strike. The second lure I'm going to try is the Fox Rage Lemon Tiger Spiky Shad. This is a bright and in-your-face colour scheme, and whilst I'm sceptical, I have seen plenty of videos where this design has caught some good-sized perch. I only hope the perch in this swim are just as keen. I have to admit that I'm not a fan of unlifelike colours, but anything is worth a shot. Nothing showed an interest in the Lemon Tiger design, so it's time to move on to the next lure in my box. The third lure I'm going to try is the Fox Rage Redhead Spiky Shad. I have to admit that I am not overly convinced about the Redhead design, as it is not like anything else I have seen before. Despite my reservations, I was told this is one of the must-have designs, hence I bought one. The Redhead design didn't work for me, and I have to seriously question whether this is indeed one of the essential Spikey Shad designs. It's time to try the next Spikey lure in my box. The fourth lure I'm going to try is the Fox Rage Fire Tiger Spikey Shad. Perch are well known for being cannibals and eating their own species, so this design, which looks like a small perch, was an obvious purchase. If I were to wager a bet on the Spikey Shads I have that will catch a perch, it would be on this design. Despite my hopes and best efforts, I couldn't tempt a knock, let alone a full-on take, so it's time for a change and on to the next shad in my box. The fifth lure I'm going to try is the Fox Rage Hot Olive Spikey Shad. This silver top orange belly is another real fish looking design that I have high hopes for. I am a sucker for the realistic designs, so I added one of these to my collection. This is yet another realistic design that has failed to get any interest from a perch, so it's time to get another Spikey Shad out of the lure box. The sixth lure I'm going to try is the Fox Rage Silver Bleak Spikey Shad. The Broads are full of small silver fish, and the predators are used to chasing silver fry around. Consequently, this silver design is realistic and another design I predict will catch me plenty of perch. This Spikey Shad is the last chance saloon, and if this doesn't get the perch going, I am fresh out. One thing I have noticed about all of these 6cm spiky shads is the action, which looks like it should grab the attention of the perch, even though it has failed me on this occasion. I've exhausted my entire supply of 6cm spiky shads, and whilst I also own a selection of micro spiky shads, I don't have any different colour schemes to try. I do have some Fox Rage grub tails with me, but these are also the micro-sized ones, as well as some Fox Rage Fry, which are also micro-sized. I could spend all day chopping and changing lures, but personally, I think this is a waste of time. If there are perch in the vicinity and they are keen to take a lure, they would have a go at anything. The fact that none of my 6cm spiky shads sparked any interest leads me to believe that there are no willing perch in this swim. It's always frustrating not to catch and blank, especially when my last few sessions have been so successful, but I guess that's just the way it goes sometimes. I have to admit that I'm really struggling with the jigging and can't seem to catch. I don't know whether it's me, always being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or whether it's just me missing the boat and messing up the technique. I'm not deterred though, and I will have another go at catching perch with a jig in the very near future.